Hey guys, what's up? This is Nikhil from dopemotions.com and welcome to this brand new After Effects tutorial. Today we're going to take a look at creating the 2D animated typeface called Bonkers, which I released a few weeks ago. So make sure you check it out if you haven't yet. It's absolutely free and amazing. I have put almost a week working on it. So yeah, make sure you check it out. You can also support me on Patreon where you can get all my tutorial project files. And yeah, so without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the tutorial and get started. Alright, so let's go and create a new composition and let's make this 1920 into 1080, 30 frames, and let's make this 5 seconds, so 5 dot and hit OK. Then I'm going to create my letter, so let's select the text tool and type in any letter you want. I'm just going to type in A and center the anchor point and align it to the center. And by the way, if you wanted to know, I'm using the Nexa bold font, the regular Nexa bold font, which is really nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the rectangle tool and create a shape layer like so and center the anchor point into the center. Now if you don't have the move anchor point script, you can just select the move anchor point tool and center this manually as well, but I have the script, so I'm going to use it. The link will be in the descriptions if you want to download the script. So let's just align this like so. Then I'm going to go into the rectangular 1 properties, rectangular part 1, and unlink it. Set this to 100 and set this to around, let's say 250 or maybe around, let's say 300. Yep, that looks good. Then let's just rename our shape layer to 01 and hit R to bring down the rotation properties and rotate this to around 35 degrees. Then I'm going to select the layer and hit S to bring down the scale properties, and let's go to, let's say maybe around 1 second. Create a keyframe by hitting on the stopwatch, go to 0 and unlink this first of all and set this, set the X properties to 0. So now we have something like that. So you can select the keyframe and hit F9 to ease it. Go to the graph editor and let's go to the edit speed graph and drag this. Select this point and drag this like so and create kind of a peak. Now if you follow my channel, you know what this peak is called. It's called the peak of motion. I like to call it peak of motion, which gives a little bit of really nice motion to our animation like so. So that is looking pretty nice. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the whole alphabet with this kind of shapes by duplicating it. So I'm going to select the layer and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, drag this right over there, Ctrl D to duplicate it again, and go on duplicating it and create a copy till the time we cover up the whole alphabet. So pretty randomly I'm going to place the shapes. There's no fixed path, just do it the way you want it. And there we go, the whole alphabet is covered. So select the shape layers and right click to pre-comp it, and let's call this matte and hit OK. Then I'm going to toggle switch and set the A track matte to alpha matte. So now if I ramp preview it, you can see we have something like that. Really simple, really easy. Now let's create the accents to give it a little bit of really nice, look to it. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my pen tool to create the shape layer, and pretty randomly I'm going to draw a really cool accent for this alphabet. So I'm going to draw something like that. Now it's up to you. You can do any kind of shape that you would like to, but I'm just going to do what I did with the Bonkers Typeface. So I'm going to go right over there. Let's just pretty quickly rename it to AC, that is accents. Set the anchor point into the center. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit P to bring down the position properties and go to let's say 20 frames and create a keyframe. Go to 1 second maybe and drag this right over here, something like that. Go to 1 second 10 frames, select and copy the same keyframe by hitting Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So we have something like that. Pretty simple. Select the keyframe and hit F9 to easy ease them. So we have something like that. So let's just crop this up by hitting Alt and close bracket, like so. And yep, that looks simple and clean. Then I'm going to create one more accents. Now you can create n number of accents that you would like to, but I'm just going to create 2 for now. So I'm just going to go and create one accent right over here. So let's create something like that. You don't need to be, precise. You can just do it randomly. Then hit P to bring down the position properties and do the same thing as we did before. So create a keyframe, go to 1 second, drag this out like so. Now you can see our anchor point is not in the center, but it doesn't even matter. It just okay. I'm just okay with that for now because the animation won't get affected. So I'm just gonna copy paste it right over there. Select the keyframe and hit F9 to easy ease them again. And let's crop this up by hitting Alt and close brackets. So now we have something like that. Let's just drag this down and rename this to AC, that is accents, just to be organized. It's good to be organized. So now we have something like that, really simple and easy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all my layers and let's pre-comp this. So right click, pre-comp, and let's call this main underscore A and hit OK. Then I'm going to duplicate this, but before that let's add a fill to it so that we can add color pretty easily. So I'm going to just drag this right over there. Let's give it a white color and duplicate it 2 times so we have 3 copies. And now let's just displace this by 5 frames. So I'm going to drag this to, let's say, 5 frames and this to 10 frames. So now we should have something like that. And let's give a little bit nice color to it, maybe a blue one like so. And let's make this red like so. And let's see how it looks. So as you can see, it looks really nice and really cool. So now we are getting there. And just to give a little bit of, a little bit of randomness to this thing, I'm gonna add blinds to the second one, that is the blue one. And let's bring this up right over there, maybe around 37, this to around let's say 55, and the width to around 16. Maybe I'll just increase this to, let's say, 40. And you can see it looks really nice. Now the last thing that remains is to add the strokes. So it is pretty simple and easy to add the strokes as well. So to add the strokes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my pen tool and create the strokes in line with the alphabet. So I'm going to draw something like that. Now I'm doing this pretty randomly. You can take your time and create different kind of stroke if you want to. So I'm just going to uncheck the fill and let's increase the stroke to 5 and let's rename this to stroke. Then I'm going to go into contents and add a trim part to it so that we can add some little bit of animation to this thing. So let's say I'll go to, let's say, 10 frame. Bring down the trim path properties and set the end property to 0. Create a keyframe. Go to, let's say, 25 frames and bring this up to 100. Then I'm going to go back to, let's say, 20 frames. Create a keyframe on the start. Go to 1 second, 5 frames, 1 second and 5 frames, and set this up to 100. So now we should have something like that. So let's just select the keyframes and hit F9 to easy ease them. Then go to graph editor and create the amazing peak of motion again. So let's just drag this right over there, something like that, and let's drag this right over here, something like that. So now we should have something like that, which looks pretty simple yet pretty cool. You can just crop this up by hitting Alt and close bracket and crop this up from here as well. So let's create one more stroke just to give, and I'm going to add the stroke in the inside of the letter A. You can add wherever you want to, or add number of strokes that you want to. So maybe something like that. We'll just tweak it a little bit like so, and tweak this one as well. So hit G and just just tweak it a little bit. Let's just rename this to stroke again by hitting Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Just copy paste the name again, and you can just go and copy paste the keyframes. So I'm going to select the keyframes of the stroke 1 and hit Ctrl C, and select the stroke 2 and hit Ctrl V to copy paste it. So now we should have something like that, which looks really nice. You can again crop this up if you want to, just to be organized. There we go. Ctrl A and just close all the properties, and let's just ramp preview it. And you can see it is that simple and that easy to create your own animated typeface. You can use the same technique and create different kind of typeface and use it in your projects. Alright, so before we wrap up, I would like to show you guys how to use the Bonkers animated typeface. So when you download this pack, you'll get this composition, you'll get all these projects right over here, and there will be a composition called create your words here. So you can open it and start right over here. Now you can also create your own composition and work with that, but just for the quick start, I have just added this composition. So you can just double click to open it, and then here we have this folder called A to Z where all the alphabets are right over here. So let's say I want to create a title, so I'm going to drag in, let's say something like a word, let's say dope. So I'm going to drag in every alphabet like so. There we go. So now we have all the alphabets like so, you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the alphabets and scale this down to, let's say 30% should be good. So let's just arrange this in a good position. So I'm going to just drag this right over there, maybe right over there, and P to a little bit right over there, and bring the E out as well. And there we have it. Just some little bit with the arrow keys. Alright, so now if I ramp preview it pretty quick, you can see we have this really nice title animation, or you can use this for a number of things that you would like to, Now the second thing I would like to show you guys is how to reverse this up, because I got a lot of questions asking me how to reverse this animation, and it is pretty simple actually. So what you need to do is select all the composition of the alphabets, right click and pre-comp it, and let's just call this something like a dope, and hit OK. So we have a single comp. Then I'm going to hit Alt and close bracket to cut this up, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and right click, go to time and time reverse layer, then hold shift and just drag this up, and it should snap right over there. And it is that simple and that easy. So now we have the reverse animation of the typeface. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if it was, don't forget to subscribe, comment and like, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and thank you so much for watching guys.